The Baal Shem Tov wanted his students all the time, oh, you're going to be the scribe, you're going to be the this, you're going to be the... Everyone he gave a different job, a different title to. And there was a man who served him all the time, and the Baal Shem Tov said to him, you know what you're going to be? You're going to be the one who tells my stories. And when I die and leave this world, you're going to go and tell my stories all over the world. And God willing, you'll make a parnassah that way, you'll make a living. People will pay you a little bit here and there, and you can make a living, you'll tell stories about me. And this is what the person did. The Baal Shem Tov passed away. All these Hasidim were around the Baal Shem Tov like, what am I supposed to do now with my life? They're completely orphaned. They have no clue what to do with themselves. They don't know what should I do? If you know in the Hasidic world, if the Rebbe says, you need to move now to Machu Picchu to open a cafe there for pilgrims who go up the mountain, then that's what a Lubavitcher Hasid does. That's it. That's why you have a Lubavitcher Chabad house everywhere in the world, because the Rebbe went, you need to go immediately to Alaska. And that's it. The person gets on and goes to Alaska. But if the Rebbe is not there, what do you do? So he goes around, he tells stories, but, barely makes a living. And then somebody says to him, in such and such a town, there's a man so wealthy, he could buy 5 countries. He's amazingly wealthy. This man loves stories about the Baal Shem Tov. And he pays a fortune for a story. You should go there. Well, the man says to himself, are you kidding me? I know all the stories about the Baal Shem Tov. I'm going to go there. I'm going to tell him all my stories. That's it. I'm done. I can retire. I don't have to do anything anymore. So he goes to the town, and he comes to this great wealthy man, and he says to him, I'm Mamish, the person, I'm the Baal Shem Tov storyteller. I sat with him, with the Rav HaKadosh, with the holiness. I sat with him, and the guy goes, oh my God, what a privilege. You say, what? Let me call. He calls all the people from town to come to his house. For Shabbos, he's going to come. On Friday evening, they all come. People are so excited. And he's at the table, and the wealthy man gets up, and he says, we have such a zchut, we have such a privilege tonight. Do you know who's here? The Baal Shem Tov's personal storyteller. He's going to, oh my God. And so they eat, and then he goes, and now, and the guy gets up, and nothing. He remembers nothing, not a thing. The mind goes blank. And people are staring and they're muttering, what's with the man? What is... And the rich man says, you know what? Shh, please, have some compassion. He traveled such a distance. He must be so tired in our days. He must have been jet lagged. Let him rest. Let him catch himself. Forgive him. Don't worry about it. We'll come tomorrow after Shachrit, after morning prayers. We come to my house. We'll have a big lunch. And then he will regale us with these wonderful stories of the Baal Shem Tov. Great. They go to sleep. They get up in the morning. They go to Shachrit. They finish Shachrit. They come. They have the meal. I would like to tell you how privileged we are now to have the Baal Shem Tov's personal storyteller. Please. And the man gets up, looks at the group. Nothing, blank, like he never met the Baal Shem Tov, like he knows nothing, like he hasn't been telling hundreds of stories about him all these years, nothing. The wealthy man says, please, okay? Look, sometimes it's known, like even the Ari of Tzfat, the holy Ari, would have to take a nap immediately after the Shachrit, and this, to regain his strength. Please, we're going to have a Suda Shlishit, we're going to have a Melave Malka, there's plenty of opportunity, don't worry. Man goes, he lies down, he sleeps, he rests, he eats, he gets up, they have Suda Shlishit, and the wealthy man says, now, without further ado, and the man gets up and looks at him, and nothing. Zero, nothing, he's got nothing to say. People are by now screaming and throwing things at him. Charlatan, crook, thief, beat him up, throw him out of here. The man can't wait until Shabbat is out. The moment Shabbat is out, he grabs his tefillin, his talis, and he runs out of town. He runs out of town. He's on the wagon with a horse. And just as he goes out of the gates of the city, he goes, oh my God, I remember. And he immediately turns the horse's back and he runs back to the well. He says, oh, I remember a story. The wealthy man says, oh, let me gather all the people. He says, no, don't do that. I don't want to forget the story. I'll tell you the story first, then you can get the wealthy people. Okay, quickly, I have to tell you the story. He says, okay, here's the story. He said, I used to travel with the Baal Shem Tov from city to city to visit all kinds of people. And one time we arrived at this place, and there was this preacher in the Ukraine going around and spreading hatred and anti-Semitism. And he was going up, just whipping up a rabble-rouser. Man who was going around into towns and telling the villagers, you know what your problem is? The Jews. You go up and beat the Jews, go and burn them. And this is what he was doing. And people were getting absolutely terrified. And the Baal Shem Tov goes to this huge gathering with this man standing up there and speaking. And the Baal Shem Tov says to me, Moshe, go up and tell him that the Baal Shem Tov needs to speak to him. He said, me? Like, I'm going to, look at me, I'm like with my pass and with my, I can't go in there with all the, he said, go, just go tell him. So he said, so I went up to the preacher and I whispered in his ear, the Baal Shem Tov wants to speak to you. And the man froze. And he looked at me and said, what? And he ran out and he talked to the Baal Shem Tov. And the Baal Shem Tov whispered in his ear, and then the man ran away. The wealthy man looks at him and he starts weeping. He said, oh my God, do you know who I am? He said, you don't recognize me? You don't recognize me? I'm the preacher. I'm the man who used to go and whip up hatred. And the messenger said to him, it's you? He said, yes. Do you know what the Baal Shem Tov said to me? The Baal Shem Tov said to me, you repent right now. Right now. And you run away from here. And you go and do what you do with your business, but you be kind and generous to people all around you. And I said to the Baal Shem Tov, well, but even if I repent, how will I know that it worked? And the Baal Shem Tov said to him, one day I will send to you a person who will come and tell you this story. One day I will send you a person who will tell you this story.